What if I told you that the biggest reason that you are still stuck in your 9 to 5 is not your lack of skills? It's not your connections. It's not even your courage or your lack of courage. What if the real enemy is the part of your unconscious mind that's literally been programmed to keep you safe, keep you small, which means it's keeping you struggling? And what if everyone doing shadow work right now is missing the most important shadow of all, the one that's actually sabotaging your success before you're even able to start?
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my fellow success seekers? Welcome back to another episode of Your Success DNA. It's that podcast for my aspiring entrepreneurs and 9 to 5 escapees. It's actually for anyone who's into personal development, but I do, as you'll tell by the examples we put in here, I do tend to focus on my aspiring entrepreneurs because I think entrepreneurship is the greatest personal development program out there in the world. And that's why we're here delivering these episodes that focus on mindset shifts and habit upgrades and those little doses of rebellions that help you break free from convention so that you can build a life and a business aligned with your version of success. And if you know someone who dreams of ditching the grind but still makes time for some personal development, you might want to go ahead and forward this episode to them. All right, so let's first break down what we're going to be talking about today. First, we're going to be diving into why traditional shadow work is missing the mark for my aspiring entrepreneurs out there. For you. Yeah, that's who I'm talking to right now. You see, while everyone is out there journaling about their childhood trauma, they're completely blind to the unconscious patterns that sabotage all of their dreams, their relationship dreams, their business dreams, their financial dreams, their childhood dreams, before they're even able to start working on those dreams. And second, I'm going to be revealing 3 specific shadows that keep smart, capable people just like you trapped in that employee mindset, even when they are desperately wanting to break free. These aren't shadows that therapists get out there and talk about on the norm. No. These are the business killing, relationship strangling beliefs hiding inside your unconscious mind. And third, you're going to discover the entrepreneurial's shadow work process that actually moves the needle for you, for all my aspiring entrepreneurs out there. This isn't about healing your past. It's about confronting a part of you that is terrified of your own success, about confronting a part of you that is addicted to the all too familiar struggle of you playing it small. All right. So once again, I'm going to hit you with the truth. And I think this one's going to sting like a slap or a smack on the butt. You're not stuck because of lack of opportunity. No, there's lots of opportunity out there. We see it every day. Some people market opportunity to you on the daily. You're stuck because part of you is unconsciously committed to staying exactly where you are right this very minute. Right? Let that sink in for a minute. So here's what I want you to do. Picture this. You're sitting at your desk. It's Tuesday afternoon. Maybe it's like 2:47 p.m. And you can feel that post-lunch energy crash hitting you like a brick wall. This is about the time that many of you pick up a Monster or something like that and gulp it down. Maybe you go for your 5th cup of coffee. Those fluorescent lights are humming over your head. And you hear your coworker, maybe 2 cubicles over, having the same conversation about the weekend plans that they have every single week. Yeah? What do? Well, you minimize that spreadsheet that you've been staring at for the last hour and you open LinkedIn. Just for a minute, you tell yourself, I'm just going to clear my head. And then you see it. Another post from someone who left their corporate job to start their own thing. Yeah. This time it's a photo of them. They're sitting in some amazing outdoor diner. Maybe it's a coffee shop in Portugal. And the caption reads, 2 years ago, I was trapped in a job that was slowly killing my soul. Today, I'm building something that matters. You feel that pang in your chest? That mix of inspiration with a little bit of jealousy makes your throat tighten just a little bit. You scroll through the comments of this post and person after person is saying things like, so inspiring and I wish I had your courage. Well, you close LinkedIn and you stare at your computer screen for a moment. Maybe your eyes just kind of blink in disbelief. Then, almost without thinking, you open the folder that's buried deep within your documents section, the one that's labeled business ideas. You click on that document that you have been working for, I don't know, what has it been? 8 months, 9 months, 24 months? Go ahead, be honest with yourself, and you read through it once again. Page after page after page of research, market analysis, financial projections. It's solid. Let's be honest, it's rock solid. You know this could work. You have the skills. Hell, you've been doing the exact same damn work for someone else for years. Some of you for decades. You have some connections. You even have a little bit of money saved up. Probably more than enough to get you started. Yeah? Okay. Some of you are nodding with me right now. You're like, oh my God, he's been looking over my shoulder. I know. But then right on cue, your brain starts that familiar dance. Well, maybe I need to research the market just a little bit more because this market research is from last year, And what if I'm missing something obvious? Maybe I should take that online course I saw last week first. The one that's been sitting on my bookmarks for 3 months. Yeah. Okay. And, maybe I should wait until after the holidays or after this big project at work wraps up. Or even more so, some of you are saying, I'm going to wait till after I get that promotion or after. Yeah. And now even more of you are nodding right now. I can feel it. I can hear some of you in my magic headphones. You can feel it happening. The familiar weight is settling on your shoulders. It's that same weight that's been there every single damn time you open that very document. Every time you've gotten close to actually pulling the trigger and doing something about it. Now, imagine I'm sitting right there next to you in that same office, in that same sterile office, and then I lean over and I ask you one question. What would actually happen if your business succeeded beyond your wildest dreams? Yeah? You feel that shift in your stomach? That little flutter of panic mixed with excitement? Your hands, maybe they're getting a little sweaty just thinking about it. Yeah? Maybe you're just put your finger on your neck. Maybe your heart rate just picked up a couple of beats per minute. Yeah? Picture yourself trying to answer that question 100% honestly. Go ahead. Really picture it. You're making more than you ever have. If everything came true, if the answer to that question is, what would it be? You're working from wherever you want. You're finally building something that's yours. But then what? Huh? You'd have to become someone you do not recognize. The person who takes risks instead of the person that plays safe. The person who bets on themselves instead of hiding behind someone else's company or brand name. Yeah. You will have to leave behind everyone who knows that you are the reliable one, that you are the practical one, that you are the one who has their head on straight. You know what I'm talking about. You can hear that name popping up in your subconscious right now. Let's be honest. What would your parents think? They've been so proud of you with your stable job and your good benefits and the way you've been able to take care of your wife, your spouse, and your children. What about your friends who are still grinding it away in their cubicles? Would they still want to go out and grab drinks and sit down and complain about their bosses if you're not there with them to commiserate with them anymore? Yeah. You want to talk about weeding out some friends. Yeah. And here's the scariest thought of all. You have to admit that you've been playing small all the way up to that time. Yeah. Perhaps your entire life. That all those years of being responsible, he says with air quotes, and taking the safe path were really just fear dressed up as wisdom. Yeah. Okay. One last thing. I want you to picture that moment of realization just kind of washing over you. Your unconscious mind isn't afraid of failure. It's absolutely terrified of success. You know why? Because success means death. What? What the hell are you talking about, Tracy? It means the death of your current identity. The death of your relationships with people who are making you comfortable with being just like them. It means the death of that all too familiar struggle that has become your strange, twisted, but ever valued comfort zone. Yeah, even the stress at your job, the Sunday morning scaries, and that little feeling of being trapped is all too familiar. It's all too twisted and comfortable. And familiar, well, let's be honest, familiar feels safe, even when it's slowly suffocating you and your soul. Yeah, so this is what I call entrepreneurial shadow work, and it's the missing piece that no one wants to talk about. I have been a member of some pretty high-end mindset shift masterminds, etc. I haven't heard them talk about it there either. Okay, so here's how to do shadow work that I think actually serves you and your business, giving you the breakthrough. And it doesn't just serve you as a therapy session, right? We don't want just another therapy session. We're going to break this down into 3 easy steps. Step number 1 is you want to identify your success shadows. Okay. So I want you to go ahead and get your journal. I've talked about this over the course of past few episodes. I'm a big fan of journals and having a place to write something down, even if it's a notes app. But to be honest, I'm a big fan of taking the intangible thoughts out of your head and rolling them down through your hand, the right hand or the left hand, and turning it into something tangible on a piece of paper. So get that journal and start writing the answer to these 3 questions. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
What would I give up if my business succeeded beyond my current income? Yeah, easy question. Write down everything that pops into your mind. Don't pause. Don't grade yourself. Don't edit yourself. Relationships, would you change any? How about your identity? You know that's going to change. Your comfort zones, certainly. Even the story that you would tell yourself about why you are stuck right now or why you were stuck, right? Because if your business succeeds, you're no longer stuck. Next question. Who in my life would be threatened by my success? Ooh, this one's going to make you think a little bit. And let's be honest, this is not about judgment here. It's about awareness. Your unconscious mind protects these relationships by keeping them small. Yeah, so which ones are going to be threatened by your success? And what part of you, actually, let me rephrase the question in the correct way. What part of me is addicted to the struggle? A lot of you don't want to deal with this. I was one of those. There was a time in my life I was addicted to the struggle. Most people are unconsciously loyal to their problems because, as I mentioned earlier, their struggles feel familiar, and familiar feels safe. Even when that safety, that struggling safety, is slowly choking your soul. Okay? All right. So now, once you've got those, let's go to step number 2, and that's the identity death process. This is where traditional shadow work, I think, tends to get it wrong. They want you to integrate your shadows. Okay, maybe there's, a part of that needs to work into it, but I want you to consciously choose which parts of your identity need to die for your better self to be born, right? Maybe it's your relationship self, for your better relationship self, for your better entrepreneurial self to be born. Because I guarantee you there's some part of you that needs to die in order to birth the next level of you. I can guarantee you, here's the thing, my corporate self could not be born until I killed my drug addicted self. Seems kind of, simple. Well, duh, Tracy. Well, if it seems so logical in that sense, why is it different in other less extreme versions, right? Okay. Now, next part of part 2 is I want you to write a letter to your current identity. Go ahead. This is no joke, right? I learned this a long time ago, back in the 80s or 90s from Bruce Lee. And it's one of the ways he used to manage some of his emotions was he would write a letter to whomever, whatever it was he was angry at, and then he would crumble it up and burn it. And with that went his emotions. But we're not going to go that extreme. I want you to write a letter to your current identity. Go ahead and thank it for keeping you safe. Go ahead and acknowledge your current identity for what it has given you, because clearly it's given you something. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep it around. And then consciously choose to let it go. Now, if you want to go the Bruce Lee route and go ahead and tear that little section out of your journal, or if you write it on a separate piece of paper and crumple it up and burn it as a ritualistic way of letting it go, try it. That's okay. Because look, this isn't about healing your employee mindset self. It's about graduating from that employee mindset. Okay. Now, step number 3, this is going to be the success rehearsal. Now, your unconscious mind needs to practice being successful before your conscious mind can create that success, right? Now, many of you do that a bit when you create your dream boards or your vision boards, and you have sticky notes all over your bathroom window with visualizations and affirmations that you're saying. That's you trying to practice. Here, we're going to do every morning for the next 30 days. I want you to spend 5 minutes picturing yourself as the successful entrepreneur that you're wanting to become, that you're actually becoming. Now, if you're not striving to be an entrepreneur and you're just still listening here to me anyway, because you think you're going to get some good value, well, thank you for hanging around this long, and I hope I can deliver some for you. But maybe you're visualizing yourself as the successful spouse, as the productive parent, whatever it is you want to become, whatever it is that you are becoming. Go ahead and spend that 5 minutes for the next 30 days visualizing that. Every day. Don't stop. Every day. Okay? If you really want to go balls out fast and really get things happening faster, do it again before you go to bed. Yeah. Okay? But here's the key. Don't just visualize the money and the freedom and all the hoo-has. No. Visualize the identity. How do you walk? Are you walking slumped over? I bet you're not. I bet you're walking tall and proud with intentful strides. Yeah. How do you speak? Do you speak with fumbled up language? Probably not. You're probably speaking with clarity and assurance. There's a certain level of confidence, maybe even a little bit of joy in your voice. How do you make decisions? Yeah. Are you making decisions? You know you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a successful entrepreneur or successful in whatever it is you're attempting to accomplish. Your unconscious mind needs to know that this new version of you is safe and that it's worthy and that it's aligned with who you really are inside. You may not be there yet, but you're about to be, and you need to make sure it's aligned. We've heard about you need to know your why. You need to make sure your why is aligned with your who, and that who is who you are. Okay. So speaking of identity transformation, this is exactly the kind of mindset work we dive deep into every week in the Unleash Your Success DNA newsletter. That newsletter is designed specifically for my aspiring entrepreneurs and my 9-to-5 escapees who are ready for some real transformation, not just that scratch the surface level stuff. No, you really want to dive in and get shit done. Each issue delivers mindset shifts and habit upgrades and more doses of rebellion, just like we deliver here. Again, helping you break free from convention so you can build not just a business, but a life aligned with your version of success. And if today's episode resonates with you even a little bit, and if you're still here, I'm thinking it does, then you need to head on over and join the Unleash Your Success DNA newsletter. Head over to yoursuccessdna.com and go ahead and join the rebellion today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's why this matters on an even deeper level. We're living through the death of the employee mindset and the birth of ownership in our economy. I really think so. I think the past few decades have pushed so many people into the employee mindset that our economy has taken a hit. And there's an awakening starting to happen of ownership, of being an entrepreneur, even if it's just an online only entrepreneur. It's still entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurs out there, they give back to their community through economic ways, maybe hiring somebody, maybe not just their own community, the community as a whole, as a nation, or even as the world. But most people are trying to make this transition with some unconscious programming that has kept them safe as employees. Okay, so you're not going to make that transition without some deeper level understandings. The old paradigm rewarded conformity, rewarded security, and rewarded playing it safe by following someone else's rules. This new shift I'm talking about here, this new paradigm, I think is going to reward authenticity. You see me here, long beard, long hair, just saying it like it is, right? It's going to reward risk taking, and it's going to reward creating your own rules and then living by them. That's part of being authentic. So that's almost redundant to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Actually, I just did. But here's the thing. Your unconscious mind doesn't know all that. It's still trying to keep you safe using that old, outdated programming. Okay? Which is why you want to go through the steps I talked about. This is bigger than just starting a business. It's bigger than just, trying to be a good parent for your kids. It's bigger than just having a great relationship. This is about evolving as a human being. You evolving, getting better, whatever it is you do with your life. The entrepreneurs who thrive in the next 2, 3, 5 years to a decade won't just be the ones with the best strategies. I don't think so. They're going to be the ones who've done that inner work to align their unconscious mind with their conscious goals. Yeah, your biggest competitor is not the marketplace. It's the part of you that's terrified to outgrow your current identity. Let that sink in for a moment. Okay? So with that, here's your whispered wisdom for this week. Your unconscious mind should not be and is not your enemy. It's your employee. And like any employee, it's going to need clear direction and a little bit of new job training because it's gotten all that old training and now you need to re-educate it. Your unconscious mind's job description is keep this person safe by maintaining the status quo. Yeah, some of you are nodding. You're like, oh my God, he's so right. I know I am. But you need to give your unconscious mind a new job. And that new job description should be help this person become the parent, entrepreneur, wife, husband, father they are meant to be. You fill in the blank in there, or maybe that's your whole list. Here's your specific action for this week. Before you go to bed tonight, I want you to have a conversation with your unconscious mind. I get it. Some people think it's crazy to talk to yourself. I do it all the time. I think it's only crazy if you lose the argument with yourself. Anyway, but go ahead and have that conversation with your unconscious mind out loud. Yeah, go that far. Tell it that you're promoting it from safety manager to success partner. Give it permission to help you grow instead of just survive. I know it sounds weird, but your unconscious mind is really listening, and it has been waiting for you to finally give it a new mission. Okay? Look, the shadow work revolution, I think it's happening right now, and it is powerful. But most people are using it to stay stuck within their own story instead of going ahead and writing themselves a new one. You're different. You stuck around. You're still listening. Even if you think I'm crazy, you're still here. And you're here because you are ready to confront not just your past, but your potential. The world does not need yet another healed person who's still playing it small. It needs you. It needs you unedited. It needs you unleashed. And it needs you unafraid of your own success. Your unconscious mind has been your bodyguard, and that's good. You want it there. But now it's time to make it.
Thanks for listening to Your Success DNA podcast. Whether you're starting out or you're a seasoned entrepreneur, we have the tools and inspiration that you need to take your life to the next level. So stay tuned for more game-changing advice in our upcoming episodes. And hey, before you go, a quick reminder to check out our past episodes of Your Success DNA for more inspiring stories and practical advice. And if you've loved what you heard, leave us a review and share this podcast with your friends and colleagues. Let's all level up our lives together, shall we? Remember, your success is in your DNA.